Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust, Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. We just want to say that we know that a lot of people listen to the episodes in the replay and go back and listen after the episode's been recorded live. So if you do want the notifications for when we go live so you can tune into the episode live and maybe even ask questions, feel free to hit the notification button to where you get all the notifications and you can actually know when we go live. We definitely are excited about bringing you all the content today. Asset protection, Rabbi Trust. Definitely excited about this episode. But at the same time, we definitely want to talk about another episode that we have coming up here. It's probably not going to be posted live, or it may be scheduled to be posted live. But we definitely did a high quality interview with a lawyer, and that's really important. So really excited about that. You'll get to see some of the first time for the first time. It's going to be really exciting for that episode. So be prepared for that episode to come into your feed. Once again, hit the notifications so you can get the notifications for when we do that episode with the lawyer. It's going to be great. Really, when we say high-powered attorney, obviously you just have to give credit where credit is due, whether you pass the bar or not. If you pass the bar for whatever state and, you're doing business and, hey, you got to give credit where credit is due. So we're going to go into this episode. It's not legal advice or financial advice, but we definitely want to do this episode. Kind of wanted to really find out, how to kind of temper and have this conversation today about what we're going to talk about here in this particular episode, because we wanted to talk about asset protection. That's what we talk about at the Vault. So we've had a bunch of inquiries recently. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. And we're just talking about now, if you want to get trustee training, we're talking about asset protection. Inside asset protection, there's levels to asset protection. So we definitely have to preface this episode and say it's not legal advice or financial advice, but we definitely are going to be talking about, what you call those high-powered structures, high-powered entities, when you see the advantages and disadvantages. So we're going to talk about that today, particularly about this Rabbi Trust. This has been something that, ultimately, we were sitting here and we were reading over something and we saw this come up. And a lot of people, they say, oh, I want asset protection. But we're going to talk about why we wanted to talk about this. Because asset protection comes first. We talked about that throughout the years now through the Vault. You can go back and listen to all the previous episodes. So what's a Rabbi Trust? Rabbi Trust, this is a definition on the internet, general consensus definition. This is a very important definition because just listen to it. A Rabbi Trust is created to support a non-qualified benefit obligations of employers to their employees. A rabbi and his congregation first used this type of trust after the IRS private letter ruling approved its use. You see that? It has been referred to as a Rabbi Trust ever since. In essence, it is a non-qualified employee trust created for the benefit of both the employer and the employee. So we can just continue going through the internet definitions. It says a Rabbi Trust creates securities for employees because assets within the trust are outside the control of the employers. They are typically set up to be irrevocable. Now, we see a lot of trustees we come in contact with, people we come in contact with to the Vault, and they say, oh, I got a company and I have employees. But why didn't your accountant recommend this? It's not for everybody. Oh no, it's not for everybody. That's true. Did they even talk to you about it? Once the employer makes the contribution to the Rabbi Trust, they cannot retrieve them. That's what the definition on the internet says. So we know why. They're probably not going to recommend it. Most of the times you're not going to be in control as the employer, which you thought you were. As the employer, you were in control of assets. Company, when they say, oh, you got to own the company, you do, right? Isn't that what they say? You're the owner, you're the CEO, right? See, the CEO of the company, you have employees. People reach out to us all the time to have employees, so that's why we're having this conversation. People reach out to us all the time to have employees. Family could be employees, but they didn't take the assets and put them outside of their own personal control. And now the company is subject to get sued. So what happens? Oh, well, the company can be sued. The assets can be sued. You could be sued, right? Because when we say the assets, we're talking about the assets within the company, or we're talking about you being sued, or the company being sued. Let's continue. We're actually getting this definition from Investopedia. You know, it's not the all and everything, but general consensus over the internet for the most part. You know, they're not all everything, but for the most part, you get these general definitions. Some of the key takeaways they have on their site is a Rabbi Trust is typically used by a company to provide its senior executives an additional benefits to their existing compensation package. No wonder they didn't tell you once again. A Rabbi Trust does many things, and it doesn't keep creditors at bay, which is very important to know. If the company goes under and declares bankruptcy, the funds of the Rabbi Trust can be used by creditors. Now, these are things that, once again, they didn't tell you. A significant drawback of Rabbi Trust is they don't protect against creditors. If a company becomes insolvent or goes bankrupt, both the beneficiaries of the company's creditors have access to the trust assets. So now you're saying the employees and the company's creditors have access to the trust assets. For example, if the Rabbi Trust have $500,000 worth of stock and cash in it, both the creditors and the beneficiaries would go after the assets. How's this asset protection for the owner? How's this asset protection for the employer? Well, these assets are set aside. Not giving legal advice, financial advice. We're giving you conversation. You can talk to your lawyers and your accountants about this. Once again, a Rabbi Trust provides these advantages for employees. Contributions made to the trust do not count as part of the employee's wages. So once again, these are, would you say they are investment vehicles? Well, think about it. If you're in trusteeship, are you supposed to grow the assets? Yes. So we're talking about you putting yourself in a position where you're aware of these entities, and whether you're not aware of these entities, but we can clearly see that there are advantages of this, there are disadvantages of this, and this is going on every day in front of you. And the reason why we wanted to talk about it is because we read this from a Fortune 500 company that's utilizing this entity. So they have assets, and they're utilizing the Rabbi Trust. Oh man, Trust Christian Vol, you giving us legal advice, financial advice? No, we're not doing that. We're having a conversation about what you can read in company papers, reports, whatever. You can read these things, and you can see the advantages and disadvantages of these companies. We don't want to name any names because it would sound like a farce. Oh man, I can't believe that company's doing it. I can't believe that company's doing it. I can't believe that company's doing it. Well, okay. So we gave a good definition of it because we wanted to give an idea of what major companies are using. Oh man, I don't know if this is the best thing. Well, let's just say this. Are you even aware of it? Everybody says, oh, I want to go private. We're still around 5 years later saying, hey, look, yeah, people say they want to go private, but what happens when your wealth is in a position where this is where Fortune 500 is utilizing different types of vehicles? These are the type of things that we have conversations about, because remember, this is not just a vehicle for any reason. It's actually for asset protection. When you say, okay, well, these companies are utilizing these vehicles to have assets in that position. So it's like, well, okay, Trust Christian Vol has private trustee training. That's true. But then in the public, this is what they're using. In the public, this is what they're utilizing on public papers. I want to go private, but then this is the public entities that they have the what do we call this? The menu that's available to you in the public. asset protection. Oh, I want to protect the company's assets. You know, whether it's through divorce, all types of things. Creditors. When someone's going through a divorce, is it not a creditor against someone saying, hey, look, I want money from this situation? Does everyone walk away 50-50, no draw? What happens when people are in these type of positions, marriage, they go through divorce, whatever you call it, and we talk about where one of the partners says, hey, you know what? I'm going to go after the company. Well, where are they going after the company? Are they going after it in a personal capacity? Are they going after it in a company capacity? Suing the company directly? Once again, creditors trying to get money out of the company one way or another. Does it provide asset protection? That's something that we obviously are talking about when you talk about the purpose of it, but then when you talk to your lawyers and your accountants about it, is it going to be that for you? But we wanted to highlight this asset protection topic and how we were just reading over something literally shortly ago, and what do you say? You sit here and you say, wow, this is what the public is using it. The public is using it. What do you say? What do you say to that? Now you can go do your research. Now they say, oh, the leak of financial information, it shouldn't be given to everybody. There shouldn't be equilateralism in financial information. That is the clout of financial information, whether you know it or not. They say you got to qualify. Asset protection means you have an asset to protect. You do. That's you. Your intellectual property. Your energy. Do you protect your energy? People contact the vault for years now. Oh, I'm trying to copyright my name. But did you copyright your energy? Did you trademark your energy? Your labor? The invoices? Oh man, I'm going to be taxed out of my wealth. Well, okay. That's what people say. So how do you avoid that? How do you get around that? How do you say, oh man, you can die in testate or you can die in probate? There's ways to go about it. So where are you with it? Asset protection comes first. You got to protect the first asset. Everyone says, oh, I got to protect myself. Let me authenticate my birth certificate. Let me, what do they say? I want to control my name, image, and likeness. They've been saying this for years, and now that it's in the public, think about it. Would a company, executive, asset holding company, hold assets separate of its executives? Of course. Rabbi Trust. It's not has to be. It doesn't have to be. It's an option. It's on the menu when you have what they call either what they gonna say you have to qualify to know that. How many assets do you have to qualify to know that? And think about it. The way you start out is not always the way you finish, but some people start out that way. Is it because they start out with assets in it? No. But maybe they do. Maybe not an excuse, it's not maybe some people do. Some people do, some people don't. Right. But it starts with what? Asset protection first. How do you protect it? Oh, you don't want to put it in an irrevocable position because you'll never be able to get it back. That's what the lawyers and the accountants are always saying to us when we get on the phone with potential trustees or otherwise. Taking it out of your personal name. That's what they say. Right. Does the rabbi say you own it? No. But they want you to own it though in the public. Because it's not trust Christian. It is trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. In the public, it's not that. We just wanted to talk about, oh, they people say, oh, financial literacy. That means you should be dropping financial information every day because it's something to learn, something new every day to learn in financial information, financial markets. It's so much information, and that's why we continue to do episodes, and that's why we share it, we talk about it, because, hey, look, if they're going to say, hey, let's be in the public and have these conversations, let's have these conversations. We're in the public. People talk about asset protection. Well, it's more than one, so where do we start? And not only where do we start, we're here, and we're just at one of many that, well, does it have to be Fortune 500? Not necessarily, but there are many that are utilizing various things, and they're not Fortune 500. It's about the internet, the information, in the information age, getting to you faster than light speed through high-speed internet. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. We know a lot of people are going to listen in the replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. That's the email. Once again, it's Christian@trustchristian.com. We definitely look forward to hearing from you. We're working on our next workshop right now. Definitely got to plan it out. We got a bunch of requests already, and trustees that are just, need to get to the workshop. So we look forward to hearing from you all. Christian@trustchristian.com for Trustee Training and going over asset protection for your family. Peace and joy.